Good news, you found the Canvas page for statistics, you viewed a video, which means you're ahead of the game. Basically, this course is laid out through Canvas, where if you're familiar with using Canvas pages, I'm hoping it's going to be very easy for you to see the system that I'm using, click through, and get the most out of the courses that's being presented. So, basically, the way that I want you to find the information in the course is I want you to go to the modules page. After you've clicked on modules, you'll see new lessons that come up. The lessons will come up as pages within Canvas, and there'll be 4 tabs on the lessons. The first tab is just going to tell you the objectives of the lesson, things that we're trying to learn. The second tab is going to have the PowerPoint in it. You can absolutely view these on your own. You can go through them. It's going to have answers to problems as well as the way the problems are presented. It's just not going to have me talking about them the way that I would in class. My goal is going to be each time that your class meets to give the PowerPoint presentation, talk my way through it as about a half hour, maybe even less, 20-minute presentation, and then from there open it up to questions or even respond to questions during that time. It's absolutely fine if you don't attend the live classes. If you get the information from just clicking through the PowerPoint, that is absolutely okay. I just prefer the interactions with students. So I'm going to try and facilitate anybody who's confused by anything, give them a chance to actually directly ask the professor, let me clarify anything for you. The classwork is in the 3rd tab. So the classwork is going to be something that I upload, which basically has problems like what you're going to see on the homework. When you work through those classwork problems, there's then going to be a video that has me on this exact whiteboard going over each and every problem for you and how I would solve it. So before you even get to going to the online homework, which is the actual grade for each of these lessons, you will have seen me present things as part of the PowerPoint, which will have questions and answers like what's going to be on the homework. And you'll also have seen a video with me going over all the problems from the classwork, which again is like the homework. So now you'll be ready to click on the homework, which will take you to Webassign. The first time that you do it, when you click on one of the assignments, it's going to ask you to put in your credentials. As a member of Manor Campus, you should have credentials that let you log in to Webassign, and basically once it's linked once to my course, it'll always connect you properly to my course when you click on it, and you won't have to keep going between. Basically, Canvas is the way to access your homework, even though it's housed in Cengage. Once you click on that Canvas link to take you to Webassign, then you're going to see whatever number of questions there are for that assignment. You can have 5 attempts to answer each one. My recommendation is if you get it wrong 2 or 3 times, click the little button that says Ask Your Teacher. It will send me both the question that you're being asked and the correct answer, as well as your most recent wrong answer. So if you're really close, let's say it's a rounding error, I can just email you back and say, hey, this is what it wants, this will be marked correct if you put it in like this. If it's a bigger error, like you're missing some part of the problem, or you're doing something where you're plugging something in wrong to a formula, I'll try and figure out what's going wrong and send you back some helpful hints how to get to the right answer. So my goal is for this homework, while graded and 10% of your grade, or actually I think 20% for this class, it's still going to be something that should be a practice and should be something you feel comfortable asking me questions about, letting me help you with the actual homework problems. What those are going to lead into is the homeworks will build towards a test. Basically, if you haven't seen it as a homework problem, or that type of problem I should say, it's probably not going to appear on the test. I try and pull similar problems from the homeworks and put them on the tests. So if you're comfortable with everything that's happening on the homework, you should be comfortable on the test. But to make you even more comfortable on the test, I give a full sample test that's pretty much exactly the same length, exactly the same difficulty as the actual test. The full sample test, you get 100 tries at. So it's basically there just for you to go through, figure out what you know and what you don't know, and then you can always ask me questions, same as you could on any of the homework assignments. For the actual test, you only get 1 attempt, and there's going to be times where you're frustrated because you put in an answer that was slightly wrong and you feel like you should have gotten some points back. I will try and adjudicate those best I can. Feel free to send me an email. Worst case scenario, I say, no, I can't give you points back on it, but I do understand that the system can be temperamental. Another thing I want to mention there, all of these assignments are due at 11:59 p.m. on Sundays. So that doesn't mean you can start it at 11:59 and then submit it later. If it's not done, all the questions complete by 11:59, the system isn't going to let you take any more of it. I can extend assignments that are just regular homeworks. I don't mind doing that, give you a couple extra days. That's absolutely fine. You can then request the extension through the system and I will extend it. I cannot extend the tests. Once the test is done and complete, it shows you an answer key. It tells you how to go over everything. I can't change that setting within the Webassign system for individuals. So basically I want to make sure that people can see what they did right and wrong on the test, that they can see an answer key after it. In order to do that, I have to make it so that it shows you the answer key after the due date. So for that reason, if you try and do a test after the due date, I'm going to have to give you an alternate version of the test. Please do your best to complete particularly the test by their assigned dates. All the tests will build towards a final. Again, the sample final will give you information about the final. And it's all going to be stuff pulled from the test, which were all pulled from the homeworks. So there shouldn't be any surprises at any point in the course with any of these things. Other parts of your grade include 2 long-term projects. My goal is going to be to do discussion board topics every week that with them include parts of the project that I'm asking you to do. So that by the time we get to week 4, when your data display project is assigned, you already will have done 50% of it as part of the discussion boards. So the things that I need you to do through Canvas are going to be every week by Sunday night at 11:59, you'll have to contribute to the discussion board. Either I'll ask a question that you're answering, or I'll ask you to do a part of your data display project or data decisions project, or both. Other things that you do for Canvas are submitting your data display and data decisions project. Hopefully that's going to be as an Excel file, but it's possible that you can submit them as pictures. Otherwise in Canvas, there's going to be your class that meets at a set time. I'm going to try at first to use the Canvas function where there's conferences in Canvas so that your class meeting actually occurs through the Canvas app. I think that's the easiest way to do it. It's possible that Zoom will work better in the long run. I'm willing to play around with whatever works best for people. But the long and short of what I want you to know from this video is, please go to modules, please familiarize yourself with the course, look over the syllabus, everything is on there, due dates, everything is laid out on the calendar as it's going to appear in the course. Please email me if you have any questions.